Welcome to the lecture on what is statistics. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, by the conclusion of this lesson, what you will be able to do is explain why knowledge of statistics is important. You will also be able to define statistics and provide an example of how statistics how statistics is applied, and then also differentiate between descriptive and inferential statistics. Every lesson, we will be going over what you will be able to do by the conclusion of that lesson. So just make a note and say to yourself, I'm going to be able to do this by the conclusion of this lesson. And that's something that's really important in this course, is being able to say, I'm going to be able to do this. So, why do we study statistics? First of all, data are collected everywhere. You may not even realize that what you're doing, data is being collected about you, by you, so on and so forth. For instance, I am collecting data when you all come to class. I'm collecting data when you don't come to class. Individuals are collecting data when you click a button on a mouse, when you click a keystroke on your keyboard, when you purchase something at the mall. Whoever goes to malls, I think we still go to malls. I do the majority of my shopping on Amazon. When I go to Amazon, people are collecting data. Statistical techniques are used to make professional and personal decisions. Individuals make decisions. For instance, I just purchased a house. When I purchased the house, individuals were making decisions of whether or not I qualified for a loan, and also if I could qualify for a loan on a new house while still owning an existing house. One person said, yes, you do, and another person said, no, you don't. And we went with the person that said, yes, you do. And so we were able to close on a house without selling our existing house. But they were both using statistics. They both made a decision, and one was assessing, they were both assessing risk, and they determined that, one determined a different level of risk than the other. So statistical techniques are used to make decisions like that. A knowledge of statistics is needed to understand the world, and to have conversations in your career. It doesn't matter what career you're in. If you're going to be a sports agent, obviously you know all the different statistics on the athletes, but you will also need to know financial statistics. You're going to need to know lots of different types of probability, so on and so forth. And then also, if you are in sales, marketing, all of these careers in business can only be enhanced by a greater understanding of statistics. So in summary, statistics will help you to become a more effective person and professional employee, if you will. So what is meant by statistics? What is statistics? It's a lot more than just presenting numbers. Data is just a bunch of raw numbers. What it really is it's a science of collecting, organizing, presenting, analyzing, and interpreting data to assist in making more effective decisions. For example, you can utilize inflation rate stats to look at, a history of inflation over, the past 30 years in the United States. You can compare that to the presidency. You can compare that to the housing market. You can compare that to a lot of different things. Or, for instance, another situation would be, I hear statistics all the time about, such and such movie just brought in the most money, in the box office out of any movie ever to come out. And so I look at that, and the first thing that I always think is, okay, yeah, they may have brought in more money, but did they adjust for inflation? So did Gone with the Wind actually bring in more money in the theater as compared to now, when it's, $10 a ticket now as compared to, $1 a ticket with Gone with the Wind? Or, when Titanic came out when I was in high school, was it different? Did they actually bring in more money when you adjust for inflation? So there are two types of statistics. There's descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. So descriptive statistics is essentially methods of organizing, summarizing, and presenting data in an informative way. You're not predicting anything, you're not generalizing anything. Literally, all that you are doing is describing the subject being studied. For example, there's a total of 46,837 miles of interstate highway in the United States. Interstate highway crosses from state to state. That's why it's called interstate highway. This interstate highway represents 1% of the nation's roads and but carries more than 20% of the traffic. Texas has the most interstate. Alaska does not have any, and ironically, Hawaii actually has interstate, but it does not cross into any other state. It just has an interstate highway. But these are descriptive statistics. They don't infer anything. They don't predict anything. All that they do is describe the subject being studied. So there's two types of statistics. There are population statistics. This is the entire set of individuals. For example, the population of Baylor students would be the entire 15,000 Baylor students that attend Baylor. The sample would be, 37 students from a quantitative business analysis course, and looking just at those 37 students. So a sample is a smaller portion or part of that population of interest. So if the population of interest is Baylor students, the sample would be, the 37 students in this course. So types of statistics, getting back to that, inferential statistics can be used to estimate properties of a population. So you take statistics from a smaller sample and you infer information about the larger sample. So you make decisions about the larger sample based on the limited set of data from the smaller sample. So this method is used to estimate a property of the population on the basis of a sample. For example, there's TV networks utilize a company called Nielsen to sample TV viewers. They go around and purposefully sample extremely specific TV viewers to try to give a better understanding of what everyone is watching. So when you see, such and such, The Big Bang Theory got 9% of the sample audience on November 2nd, 2015, what they're really saying is that the small sample that they, that was viewing, 9% of them got it, and they're watched it, and they're inferring that the larger population reflects that smaller sample. So ethics and statistics, this is something that's really important because, it's really easy to make numbers say what it is that you want it to say. And one of the things that I take pride in is not bending the numbers, not banging on the numbers to make it say what I want it to say, but really doing my best to reflect or have those numbers reflect the true, honest findings. So we need to practice statistics with integrity and honesty, when you do that, it will help you in the long run. I've got a lot of friends that, they advance their career, and the reason why they advance their career is because they are trustworthy, and what they report is trustworthy and can be counted on. It's not going to benefit anyone by lying with statistics. And so we'll get into that a little bit more. But there's lots of different ways that you can, have unethical statistics reporting, such as having samples that don't really reflect the actual population, not including all relevant statistics, specifically excluding statistics or variables that don't prove your point, and also introducing biases when you interpret them, and there's just lots of different ways that you can do that. So thank you again for joining us for this lecture. Going back now, I hope that you guys have a better understanding of why statistics is important, that you know what statistics is and different examples of how stats are applied, and also that you can differentiate between descriptive and inferential statistics. One of the reasons why I record this is so that way you can go over this again and again and again if you really want to, and that way you can really get the hang of this, because I know that you guys are going to do great. Thank you so much.